Greetings and welcome to Words About Games breakdown of EGX 2019 with Amy and Keith. One of us was at EGX 2019. This is the general introduction to all of the EGX videos that we're going to be putting out over the course of the next week. So if you watch all the videos, you'll see this like 10 times. Just I didn't want to get off track in the beginning, but hey, it's us. I was at EGX. Keith wasn't. I played a ton of games. Keith doesn't know anything about any of them because we haven't seen each other since I got back from London. So we're going to talk about them. All of them. It's separated into categories that make sense if you're at the show and probably make sense. I hope they make sense. If you weren't at the show, either way, thumbs up. I have 7 games of the show and I made this. So I'm going to be giving these out as we do the podcast. So keep an eye out for my 7 best games of EGX with the little hearts and stuff. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to future Keith and future Amy, who are going to be having lots of conversations about video games.
Over to you, future me.
I've got this big list of stuff that I played on the show floor. It wasn't an indie game. It wasn't with any of the AAA stuff. It's just there. I'm probably not going to talk about all of it. The one thing I definitely want to talk about is Planet Zoo, which was in the weirdest place. So it didn't have its own stand. It wasn't in the res section where you would expect it to be. Corsair had there was tons of manufacturers of like PC stuff.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And Corsair had brought a demo of the game. So you could try out all of their stuff. Like, I already have a Corsair PC and keyboard. But, yeah, so I found it randomly because I saw one of the developers with the green t-shirt on, like, Planet Zoo, Frontier Developments. And I was like, wait, is this here? So I went and played that game. Broke it. Had to get them to reset it.
Bad, Amy.
Sorry. Broke a few games, but... The demo was very much a tutorial, and I learned stuff about animals and like their habitats and what they like to do, and like it's weird because I don't think there's a lot I can really say about it because it's a simulation game. It's very much a slow burning kind of game, and if you've played a management style game before, like especially like Planet Coaster, which was made by the same developers, like this is going to be very familiar. You have a park, you build the park, like you have to like make habitats for these animals and you put them in, and like you need to make sure it has the right kind of foliage for the animals, like so they're comfortable, and it has to have water source, and you have to have food, and it has to have like viewing ports so that people can see them. But like sometimes like animals want their privacy, so sometimes you have to like try and like spend extra on one-way glass, and like, it all sounds dull, if you know what I mean. Like, but it's not. If you like, and especially if you like that kind of gameplay, Planet Zoo is really, really good. I had a great time learning about ostriches and snow leopards while I was playing this demo. It's going to suck the life out of me when it comes out, like Planet Coaster did. I think I spent a week just solidly playing it, and I think I'm gonna have the same experience with Planet Zoo.
I have tried playing Planet Coaster recently, and I was like, "Where's the tutorial?"
Yeah, this has this has like missions, because I think this has got a single player campaign. I think that's what I was playing, and it was very much like going step by step, like. It wasn't telling you, it was telling you where to find stuff and how to like read the data, because there's a lot of data in there, because it's like all the animals are based on like real world animals, like obviously, so like, but it's like it bases itself on their like what kind of like environments they like to live in, stuff like that. So you actually learn stuff about the animals as you're going.
Now that you've said that, I still want them to make like, remember Dungeon Land, but like a slightly like funner, more happier, like a theme zoo, where it's basically mythical animals. And it's like you have to keep the griffins happy by being the horses.
Yeah, I
want
mean,
that now.
like try it out. Like if you get the chance to play a Planet Zoo, it's a really really fun time, and I know you like that kind of game, so like it sucked me in. Like I think the last one that did that was probably 2 Point Hospital, like the last type of game like that, and I like that.
Yeah, I'm still playing the expansions.
Um, let's have a look. I played Journey to the Savage Planet. That there was no one there, and so there was no one to reset the demo. So someone finished playing, and I sat down, and there was no one there. So I tried to play it, and I was like, well, it wants me to do this, and it's like I'm pressing all of the buttons, and I can't figure out how to pick up a thing to do another thing, and it's like I just walk away from the demo at like after about 5 minutes because I was just like I don't want to play this. Like it's demo syndrome, and it happens a lot when you're at these shows. It's just like it sucks because it's like, hey, this might be kind of interesting. Because the demo didn't teach me how to play the game, I kind of walked away like I have no idea.
Yeah.
And off of this list, the only other thing I want to talk about off of this particular show floor list, because I played a bunch of other games like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's a fucking Dragon Ball Z fighting game with an open world. Okay, like there's nothing new about. Sorry, I'm actually gonna spend a minute. There's nothing new about this game. Like when they were like, it's an RPG, but it's Dragon Ball, and it's like, oh my god, that sounds a bit. Nope. It's the fighting of Dragon Ball, of Xenoverse, a million other Dragon Ball games, except now you have to kind of fly between places. Like it's the worst use of an open world, where it's just like all you've done is made it harder to get to the things that I want to do in this game. And the combat is exactly the same. So I'm not necessarily saying that's bad, just it ain't great. But I went over to our friends at Special Effect. I went over to their stand, as I do every time I'm at EGX, and they had a Microsoft accessibility controller, which I've never actually used before. So I played Sonic Mania with a Microsoft accessibility controller. My god, that thing is bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's like this big.
Heavy? Or...
No, it's not heavy at all. It's like I got like it explained because I was fascinated by this controller. Like it was like they were explaining how it works. It's got the two massive buttons on it. On the side, and then obviously on the other side you've got like the sticks and the D-pad and whatnot, and then on the top row it's got like you've got the connections, so you can connect other buttons to it, but depending on like how you connect them up, so like every other button you can think of, like on this controller, like you just connect wires to other buttons and like you can change them, and they were talking about how it saved them. Like, the Microsoft Accessibility Controller saves them so much money because it does a lot of the jobs that a lot of their custom-made stuff was doing in the past. So, like, they just have to spend, like, 70 quid on an Xbox Accessibility Controller instead of creating custom, like, stuff, like, custom, like, controllers and interfaces for people, which is so cool because that's what you want, right? And they gave me this. I got a wristband, but I thought it was really nice, and I wanted to bring it up because, like, I suck at using that controller though. But then I remembered I suck at Sonic, so what you gonna do?
Curl into a ball.
Curl into a ball, spin around,
Yeah.
fly off into the distance.